Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and in this one I'm playing in this lovely small white creative journal from Art by Marlene. It's a perfect little size for those quick journal pages. I forgot to start recording when I first painted these branches onto my page, so I'm kind of starting from where I've already painted them in. I'm just using Art by Marlene paints. This is one of her brushes as well. I haven't gessoed the paper before I've started. You can see I've grabbed that paper element up at the top, which is the little owl. So I kind of wanted to create a scene on my page. It might make a little place for this owl to sit. So I decided I would paint a branch on there, and then I'm going to add lots of leaves. Marlene's paints come in lots of lovely colours. They work perfectly in this journal, and you can see I've used two of the browns that she has, a lighter one and a darker one. As always, when I'm doing something like this, I'm not looking for perfection with my shadows and images. I'm just going for an idea of a tree branch with some leaves on it and playing with these brushes and just seeing what's possible. So now I'm using one of the greens that Marlene does, and you can see I'm just playing with twisting the brush, how I put it down, and just seeing whether I can create leafy shapes. I'm going to go in with different shades of green, overlap them, add different them at different, going in different directions, just to create that feel of my tree. So I've left a couple of spaces where the owl could sit, so I kind of planned it out a little bit before I started. Now I've gone in with my darker colours, I'm then overlapping with a lighter colour just to create a bit more depth and interest with the leaves. And you can see I'm just adding them all over the place, just create that feeling of leaves on the tree. Super easy, not difficult at all. And Marlene has lots of brushes, particularly the round brushes and the nice square ones. They're quite easy to do this effect with. So I've got a bit of that paint left over. I thought, I know, I'm just going to do a bit of splattering because that also creates a nice effect on the page too. And you can see just having a sort of audition of where the owl was going to sit on my branches. So then I thought I wanted to bring a pop of colour. I'm pretty sure this is where I started adding in some flowers. Is it? Let's have a look. Oh no, some highlights. Going in for some highlights with a white. Just painting it on and then smudging it just to create some more depth. So I'm using the Art by Marlene sticky glue. This really is a fabulous little glue. I'm pretty sure it's very similar to a white PVA glue, but it does stick very quickly and very well. I'm just using a Stabilo oil pencil to add a bit of shadow under the body and create some more darkness on these branches as well, but just kind of not really overthinking it, just adding some marks on the page. This is already feeling okay. You know, I've created that feeling of the branches on the tree. I'm not overthinking it really, just adding those marks where I feel like it. So then I grabbed a biro. Now it works perfectly well on the dry acrylic paint. It creates a softer mark than a gel pen or a paint pen, but I've still got that kind of the interest of the marks that I'm making on my page. I wanted to see how this would work, and actually it worked really well. It works really nicely on the surface of this journal as well, and I'm not going to be adding any more wet media, so I don't need it to be waterproof, although I think it will be pretty waterproof, to be honest. It could probably spread a little bit, but you know, use what you've got. This was what I grabbed first, so why not give it a try? It is a black biro as well. So then I'm using some brown archival ink and just going in with a bit of text stamping, and I'm stamping over the top of all those leaves. So now I'm just kind of bringing in that mixed media vibe with the stamping on there too. I've grabbed one of Marlene's leaf stamps, so this is a nice green archival ink as well, and just stamping some of those on there over the top of the ones that I've already drawn. So it's starting to look even more layered, and I love that effect. So then I've grabbed a little stamp that looks a little bit like a flower, and I'm going in with a pink and just stamping some of these onto the tree, just to give it an idea of some flowers on there and just to bring a little bit of colour. Now, this is all just imaginary from my head. I have no idea whether flowers like this would grow on a tree like this with leaves like these. It doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't have to be realistic. I'm just going with what I feel like putting on, and that for me is one of the joys of art journaling. There aren't rules, there aren't ways that you have to create. You can go with what works for you. It's one of the reasons I love it. So just going in with lots of different pinks. I've used acrylic paint, I've used ink pads as well, just to create those different flowers on my page. Then I'm going to go in with some of Marlene's duo marker acrylic paint pens and just adding some marks onto those leaves, just building up more of those, the feeling of depth on them, pulling some of them to the front, pushing some further back. I'm also using the paint pens to just add a bit more colour to those flowers and just make them pop out from the background. As you can see, paint pens are just such a versatile tool. You can use them for so many things, like little details like this. This is the Art by Marlene Golden Oldie sticker book with quotes in. It is packed with quotes. There are so many. You have to have a really good route through, but you will find the right quote. You will find the one that fits perfectly, and I did. So this was a really simple journal page. There wasn't really any collage paper used in this one, but there was lots of paint. One of the luxury paper elements from Marlene as well. They're so fabulous. And using that, I was able to create a scene and a little story on my page. Art journaling is so much fun. There's so many ways that you can use it to express whatever you want, really. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.